so great to be with you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. This is Mr. Taster. We're here with Mr. Taster, Hubert, who I've been following your work for many, many years, and I'm so glad that we're finally able to connect and meet in person. A lot of these relationships and friendships that people have from a distance are materialized in Dubai.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Even I talk about it publicly with him, my co-host podcast, Ian Miles Cheong, who can't be with us today. He and I knew each other for 10 years before we actually met in Dubai.
Amazing.
He's a Malaysian national. So
10 years.
10 years.
Oh my God.
Right? So Dubai is such an amazing place, and we're filming here in Dubai.
Yeah.
Of course. And so you lived here for over a decade.
No, in Dubai I'm here for 2 years and a half now.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, but I used to come a lot. I'm living here for 2 years and a half.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So you're obviously well known to audiences around the world. World famous world traveler, amazing food critic who has won the hearts and minds of people all over the place. One thing that is so important that I think is a language that speaks to anyone, regardless of ethnicity, culture, religion, race, anything, is food.
It's the food language.
That's
yeah.
Right. It's a language of love.
It's the most important thing, and it's peace language, I would say. Yeah.
I agree with that.
Because you can, I'm not a political guy, but with food you can see any political person even easily. And I'm so happy that I've got this job and eating, meeting people, seeing different cultures, seeing different people. That's an amazing job.
And you've been in places where the media likes to portray it as a certain way, and it's of course dangerous places, but you're able to be, welcomed in such a way that it's like you'd never imagine in a million years that it is what people are talking about.
Yeah, exactly. I remember I was in Bahrain, and when I went in, everyone were surprised because I'm Iranian, British, but there was because normally Bahrain is not giving visa to Iranians, and when I went there, everyone was shocked, like how this guy came in. And I remember 2 ministers messaged me when I was there, and they welcomed me and they said, how you come in? And they told me like you should go to this place, to this place, to this place. So yeah, this is the power of food.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So okay, Ironi has steam, so Farsi Wala has steam, of course. We're gonna do this in English, but may pop some Persian, lingo in here and there.
Yes, let's do it.
I want to tell the audience here and talk a little about your background. Where were you born?
Yeah, I was born in Manchester, England, because my dad was getting his PhD. He's a professor in electronics. So I moved to Iran when I was 5 years old only. And after the revolution happened in Iran, and my dad is professor, my mom she was a teacher, and I come from the educational family. So I was living in Iran, and I left Iran when I finished my uni. I did study in computer engineering. So I'm a bachelor in computer science, and I moved to UK again. I used to live in Bournemouth, and I was doing marketing for big companies like Barclays House. I did marketing for Critic, which was a car finance company, and I did work in Unisys when I moved to UK because my English wasn't good enough, because I forgot English completely when I moved to Iran.
Understandably so.
Yeah, so I was doing data entry when I was in Unisys, but it was a good journey. But my main experience came from Critic because they sent me to different conferences like SCS, Search Engine Strategies in London.
Got it.
And my main background and my experience coming from that company, because they gave me like huge budget for marketing, and I had my Google advertising certificate.
Fantastic.
Yeah, no, it was for Google PPC, which is pay-per-click. So my main background is coming from Critic.
Okay, so you are able to also incorporate that experience, formative experience, into your current successful
Exactly.
right?
I had a company called Cascade It was a marketing
CASPID, right? Caspid.
KASPID, yeah, which was my business partner surname and my surname, so we mixed it, Caspid. But we were doing web design and SEO, search optimization, and we were doing PPC, pay-per-click, and we were doing marketing for many big companies.
So I want to ask you, being born in, for the first few years of your life, 5 years of your life in the UK, being Iranian ethnically, moving to Iran, right? How was that? Was there a cultural change? Did you grow up kind of having Iranian food too, or how did the food scene, food culture in Iran affect, your upbringing? And I want to know how basically that cultural transition maybe had an impact on you deciding to become a food blogger. I want to know about that journey also.
Yeah, let me tell you, because when I was 5, I remember my uncle was telling me I was crying when I moved to Iran because I was going to miss home. But when I moved to Iran, so I realized and I found about Persian food and Persian cultures, because if we wanted to have like gourmet sabzi or some other famous foods in Iran, because I moved most of my life in Iran, cultural thing and food wise, I'm more Iranian than more British, because in England we got fish and chips and some other foods as well.
And Indian food now.
Yeah, but
it's huge passion.
It's more fast food. But in Iran, when we're talking about gourmet sabzi, it's 12 or 8 hours food. Like my mom was cooking it for 8 hours, and you can see how much love they're putting on the food. The saffron, which is the most expensive spice in the world, and you can see like people sitting all together, like 20 people, and having the food. Sometimes with the hand, sometimes with the spoon. It depends on where you are, but
food tastes better with your hands. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
The metal changes.
Many people talking about it, like they're saying with hand it tastes better, and I believe so because I love to eating with my hands as well. When like 2 days ago at home, I had white fish from Iran, and we had Persian rice, and I tell you, I had it with my hands, and I loved it.
منم ماهی ایران رو خوردم از ایران و چلوی ایرانی from Iran. So I've had most of the fish from Iran, and
oh my God, this is gorgeous.
Especially the smoked rice.
It's from the Caspian Sea. If you do shikapor, which is they put
stuffed.
Lots of it's a stuffed fish. They put lots of vegetables inside the belly, and it tastes gorgeous. You can't find it anywhere in the world, I promise. And I think when I moved to Iran, many things about my personality and my thinking, even how I eating food changed, because when I was in the UK, I remember I love fish and chips. I love like the ice cream. I was having it, but in Iran, I definitely had like. The Persian foods changed my mind in food culture. Yeah.
So how old were you when you left Iran back to the UK?
27, I believe. Yeah, I moved to UK when I was 27. So I moved to Bournemouth because my brother was living there, and I was working in Unisys. I started in Unisys. I remember I had many fish and chips, and I love bacon and egg in the morning with the sausage.
Delicious.
So yeah, I love both foods,
Of course.
Every country I travel to.
So I want to know, like, how did you enter food formatively as like a way of becoming a food blogger, a food critic?
I love food all the time, but when I started Mr. Taster, I was in a conference called SES, Search Engine Strategies, and I remember I asked my teacher, Leanne Evans, I said, why people they don't like my posts, because I was putting posts about marketing, and she told me find what people likes, and I said okay, I will find something that people likes. And I went to a restaurant, I had a baby octopus, I put it in my Facebook, 400 likes, and then boom, I said yeah, that's what people loves. So people loves about food, but not about the marketing.
No, of course not.
Yeah,
That's the
exactly.
behind the scenes hard work that has to be put into it that
Yeah,
we know
so
about
I found
also.
I found myself and I said, look, I'll find a name for a guy want to eat every day, and he sent me a list of 30, and one of them was Mr. Taster. I
Okay,
said that's it,
fantastic.
because when I put it in Facebook, I had 400 likes, so I found people love food more than marketing, so I started Mr. Taster.
Okay, so it's a fantastic story. Thank you. You've become more than just a food critic, though, and a connoisseur. You're also, I could say, an ambassador for food around the world, right? And you give so many. We love the fact that when you're giving these, ratings and you visit these restaurants, it's a really positive experience generally.
Yeah.
Have you ever given a negative review?
Oh, I mean, I used to give lots of negative reviews, but I went to police station many times because,
Really?
yeah, they complain but these days, when I travel to a country, I found myself as the ambassador of food for that country or for that
Nice.
city. So I do my best just to show their culture, their food, and the positive image of that city. So that's why when I travel to a country like Afghanistan, I travel to Mexico, I travel to US, I travel to Pakistan. So when I come back, I see people that sending me positive messages, even if when I see them in the street, they hug me, they take photo with me.
It motivates you, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, and
having
it's
an
lovely,
impact.
when I see people sending these positive messages, I'm really loving it.
I'm sure there's also a negative side to that where people are, they
Yeah,
also look at it, it's normal.
it's social media,
Of
and
course.
you
I know about that.
in the same time you can see the positive people, you can see the negative people. You can't make everyone's happy, but for me, the thing I'm doing is really it's my passion, it's my love,
And it's fulfilling.
yeah, I love it. I mean, every second I'm enjoying it. And last year I traveled to 12 countries in 12 months.
Incredible.
So this year I haven't started yet because of the Ramadan coming soon. So after Ramadan, I'm going to Egypt, and then I'm gonna go to Morocco, and then other countries as well.
Yet to visit Morocco, but Egypt I've been to a few times. Love it there. Morocco's next on the list for
Yeah.
sure. Gonna have to get recommendations from you.
Yeah, and I love them because of I saw how people are supporting each other in World Cup, in how they support their national team. So I can see how much love is that in that country.
So I have to ask you, you've had everything from Michelin-rated meals to street food. First of all, what is the worst food, if I can ask, that you've ever had?
Oh, good question.
You don't have to say where if you don't want to.
No, I mean, I'm not going to talk about Persian foods because I'm coming from a country that you can see lots of amazing foods with lots of spices, with lots of love in the food. So it's my country. So I'm not going to talk about Persian foods, but the best country I ever, I tried their food. I think number one was Afghanistan, and second country was Pakistan.
Is it the best or the worst?
Yeah, the best.
Oh, the best. Okay.
Yeah, Afghanistan and Pakistan. Maybe it's difficult for me to choose which one was the best, but I'm gonna say Pakistan or Afghanistan or Pakistan. And the third country was Saudi.
The most delicious food.
Yeah.
Okay.
And of course, the Dubai, you can see all the foods
Everything
in
is
one
here.
place.
It's incredible.
So
We're gonna get to that.
yeah. So
We're gonna get to that.
I'm not saying about Iran or Dubai because they are my home countries, or Dubai is like UAE is my home country. But apart from that, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Saudi.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So, for me, being an American Iranian, I've found that the Persian food here, for example, is phenomenal. The Iranian food here is absolutely phenomenal.
It's close to Iran. That's why we got all the ingredients in Dubai easy.
Mm-hmm. And I think you mentioned to me one of the things that you had that was a little bit off-putting was frog, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I had frog. It's not very exotic food, but I had turtle, I had donkey penis.
You have, huh?
Yeah, I had donkey penis and many other strange foods, but you know, as a person, I respect to all these foods because
Yes.
for Iranians or Persians, kalla pacha is one of the
Love
best
calapacha.
breakfast in the world. But for other people, seeing like we're having the sheep's head and like legs and eye and everything is a bit nasty. But for us, we're loving it.
So for the audience, calapacha means literally from the head,
Yeah.
kale, to pacha, pot toast.
Yeah.
So it's everything that you can
Everything,
imagine. The
yeah.
innards, part of the.
So
yeah.
many people might not like it, but we love it. So
It is quite
in the
delicious.
same time, if I go to China and see people having turtle or they're having, you know, like donkey penis,
Was that in
I
China?
respect. Yeah, it was in China. So,
Fascinating.
yeah, so
Okay.
I think, I mean, when I went there, I did video and I did respect, and even if I didn't like the turtle, I was saying, oh wow, that's so delicious, because we respect to the cultures and
Of
respect
course.
to the foods.
No, of
yeah.
course. Let me ask you, it was just your birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Kalash Mubarak.
Thank you, merci.
What did you have as your birthday meal?
Oh, we had we did have the food from Sea restaurant. We had
Fantastic.
mixed grill, like all the kebabs. We had
Love seed.
Persian foods, Persian pizzeria. Yeah.
Amazing.
So yeah, we really enjoy it.
One of my favorite things from Sieve is, of course, all the food is fantastic,
Yeah.
but the taddy bomb.
Oh, that's
It's a
actually my
signature.
favorite, and even Sheikh Hamdan had that tahdig a couple of days ago, and we're loving it. We're having the tahdig, which is the upside down rice. We got the rice on different layers. We had lamb neck, and then bagali polo again, which is pork beans rice, and then tahdig. So you're taking it and you're having a bite.
And they give
It's
you gloves.
gorgeous.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my god,
It
yeah,
really
with the
is.
gloves, yeah.
And the thing about it is with Iranian cuisine is that it's not it's how do I explain it? It's multi-layered. The flavors are layered.
Yeah.
And anyone who hasn't had it, anyone that I've spoken to from
Exactly.
anywhere in the world, there's not been one person I've come across who does not love Iranian food.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah, seriously.
Because when your food has got love to it, because
That's right.
the gorgeous food is coming from the it's not just about the ingredients. Yeah, the guy is cooking it should put his or her heart on the food, and you can see that's why our moms or grandmoms food is always different.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And sometimes our wives, because Pega will kill me if she see this video. I'm joking. Pega is my wife.
Peg is an
anyway.
amazing cook as well from what
Yeah,
I've
no,
heard. I can't wait to
she's
meet her.
really good cooker as well.
You spoke about how Sheikh Hamdan had Sieve a few days ago as well. Now you recently sat down with the Crown Prince of the UAE and introduced him to Persian cuisine, right? Can you tell us about that?
You know, it was my best experience ever that I was in Sheikh Hamdan's castle, and we cooked Persian foods. I brought the meat from Iran, and
Oh my gosh.
yeah, I brought the meat from Iran when the flood happened, so it wasn't easy to bring the meat. But we brought the saffron, the best saffron in the world. It was that long,
Hands down.
and the smell was crazy. So we brought all this stuff. I brought 3 chefs from Kuwait and 2 from Iran, and so we had like 40 people. We made like pure Persian foods. We had shish kebabs, which was from Mashhad. We had bag kebab, which was from Tehran. So we had a big feast, and I'm so happy that he loved it and he made this story about it. And it was my best experience my whole life.
You know, it's incredible because you've met with many different royal heads of state. I have as well because of my formative experience as a global journalist and whatnot. There's just something also very special here, right, with the family. Very, very humble. The way that, the sheikh also is
Yeah.
such a person who loves the people. You see it in a lot of countries, obviously,
Yeah.
but here it's just extra special. I feel based
Yeah.
on what I've seen as well and observed. What can you talk about though regarding the food scene? You've been all over the world, especially the Middle East. You described. The UAE is so unique in that someone who's lived in the United States and Europe and now traveled the world as well.
Yeah.
I can find some of my favorite restaurants from different countries in the world right here in the UAE in Dubai.
Yeah. I mean, you can see people from all around the world are living in one small place in the peace. And you can see all cuisines in one place.
It's amazing.
Either from street foods to Michelin star. I was in one restaurant, it was Indian, Avatara, and it was 1-star Michelin.
Check it out.
Michelin, yeah, and it was full vegetarian. And in the same time, you are going to a Indian street food in Dubai, so you can see all the cuisines in one place, either from Michelin star restaurant to very bottom low street food. So I think that's
It's
the
all
beauty,
delicious.
and all delicious.
It's so delicious,
believe
yeah.
me, and that's the beauty of Dubai.
One thing that I haven't yet experienced that I need to do, and I want your recommendations also, I haven't yet tried both traditional Emirati cuisine and also fusion. I guess, have you tried, is there such a thing as Emirati fusion?
Oh yeah,
Yeah?
we got
Okay.
many foods for UAE that I tried from like the high level, and I know many Emirati chefs, and we did video collaboration together, and they got amazing food, honestly. And I think it's gonna be very even Dubai chocolate. You've seen it
I
everywhere.
love it.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
Sarah did invented that beautiful chocolate, and everyone loves it around people around the world. And so yeah, you can find amazing Emiratis cuisine. Even regal bread, which is like for Emiratis and Iranian, and you can find in Jumeirah One. And every time I put this bread in my social medias, 60 million, 50 million, bang.
Oh, it's delicious.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
So here's a tough question. If you had to eat one food for the rest of your life,
It would be okra stew
okay.
with rice. And I'll tell you something, this food I hated when I had it,
The first time.
but now I'm loving it.
You know what's interesting? That kind of reminds me of my experience with sea urchin. The first time I had it, I was like, what is this? But then now I love it. And it's interesting because
Yeah.
okra has a similar consistency to
Exactly,
sea urchin, so I
yeah.
can understand that.
Sea urchin, I had it in China, it was amazing. Yeah, I loved it. And I had it with red wine.
Oh, delicious.
Yeah, delicious. Yeah,
That's a nice combination.
Amazing, yeah.
So, I guess talking about the restaurant scene, being indoors, having that fine dining experience, what's like the best street food you've had? Where has it been?
Oh, I think,
Because I have had street food too.
good question, yeah. I had the best street food in Kuwait,
Okay.
in Balochistan, Pakistan.
Amazing.
It was saji, which was the whole lamb shoulder, and they put
Wow.
it next to the charcoals.
I saw it actually. I saw the
Oh,
video.
that's crazy!
You
Yeah.
have to check out this video. We'll make sure to share it too.
The one that you saw, it was
Yes.
in the mountains, but I had it in the street in Kuwait as well. So that's the best food I ever had.
That's incredible.
And in Chabahar as well. I had it in Chabahar with Mark Wiens and
Yes.
Food Ranger, which they are the best food bloggers in the world.
Mark is also a very adventurous eater.
Oh, they're crazy.
Yeah.
These two, they're legends.
That's another one, yeah,
I love
exactly.
them.
I saw, was he in also North Korea? Was it?
Oh yeah, I had video with Kim, Bohemian Kitchen, so many food bloggers that I did collaborate with. Yeah.
Really fantastic. Okay, so has there been a country that you haven't yet visited that you want to visit?
Oh, I love to go to Egypt, of course. I'm going very soon. I was supposed to go in February, but I couldn't make it happen. But Morocco is next. So yeah, I love to travel around the world. But last year I traveled to 12 countries.
Yeah, incredible.
It was Kuwait. I did travel with Mark Wiens to Italy, so Pakistan, Afghanistan, many countries I traveled to. Georgia, Uzbekistan.
So, but do you cook as well?
No, I just eat.
Did you eat?
I do cook sometimes, but it's like barely happening. Like in 1 year, maybe one time.
Oh, that's great.
And I do cook only omelets.
Oh, that's Can I tell you, it's so funny because one of the things where you go to culinary school, right?
Yeah.
And one of the first things they do is they will test the chef to make sure they can make the perfect omelet.
Yeah.
So that is literally the
Even the egg. If they're teaching you how to make the egg because, yeah, they're starting with that. So
It's a delicacy.
yeah.
Oh, for sure. You know, I want to ask you something, which maybe you haven't been asked, but I'm sure that you, considering the level of, people that you know and everything similarly equated, would you say that you've even kind of been able to use food to mend relations between countries, let's say?
Oh my God, yeah. When I went to Bahrain, I remember for the first time, the minister said, Happy Nowruz to Iranian.
It's amazing.
And even when I traveled to Saudi, because of the problems with the politics between Saudi and Iranian, I can see that Saudi people coming to me and sending love, and we hug each other. And every country I travel, I can see the people becoming more connected with Iranians because I'm originally from there. And even Dubai, when I traveled to US, I saw many people sending love for Dubai. And yeah, I think food is the best peace language, as I said every time, and because I'm showing the cultures of that city or country to the world, then I can see that people sending me love, and I can see that food is the best connection point for different cultures and different countries. Yeah.
Absolutely, and it's what it is. It's, at the end of the day, the people, there's often such a misinterpretation or misrepresentation, and all it takes is really you've been attributed, honestly, you've helped so many different people get recognition.
Yeah, I did. I mean,
and so
many times I did it for because I did it from the heart. Sometimes when I go to a very small restaurant, I went to Pasta Kebab. I will tell you an example in Tehran, and they had 3 staff only when I went there. Now they got 74 people.
That's incredible.
After my reviews, because he always phoning me. Still, when I moved to Dubai, because I didn't go back for last 2 years, they're still sending me messages. They said, we love you. You did a lot for our business. So that's the beauty of food critic or food bloggers, because you can help a very small business and make them big in one night if you want to. And so that's my advice to the food bloggers. If you can help small businesses, please do, because it's not all about the money. And sometimes when you're helping businesses, that awards coming to your life, and God bless.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Yeah.
Well, that's also the beauty of it, because you're essentially ambassadors for peace, ambassadors for people-to-people relations, and it's such a delicate and important thing that you're doing. And so often people don't think about that. They don't put 2 and 2 together. But I just want to put it out there so people are more aware, right, of the importance of that. And I commend you for it.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. So many more adventures to come, obviously. I'd say, okay, so people who are, I know a lot of people who are not so adventurous in eating. What do you tell people who, for example, don't want to try a different kind of cuisine? Do you have any recommendations for them, or are some people like, nope, just let them be with it how they are?
I can see, like when I traveled to as an example, when I traveled to China, I saw many people coming and saying, why they kill fish when it's still alive, or even when I'm putting calabache, which is the sheep's head, and they're saying, oh, that's disgusting to have the eye. Even if you go to Egypt, I haven't been there, I heard they're having eye as well. So I think people should just relax, and if you don't like that food, just don't eat it, or don't don't be hater for that food or that culture. Just respect, because
Exactly, respect.
yeah.
I love that. I always say,
I'll ask you something.
please.
If you see somebody telling something bad about calapache, what will happen? You will be upset.
You know what it is? I will say, understandably, it's not something you're used to, but it's something that, for example, let's say you have your, burger and fries,
Yeah.
right? Some people, it might not be the same
Exactly.
taste for someone from the eastern part of the world.
Yeah.
And it's something that has to be respected. And I always say this, no matter where you are from in the world,
Exactly.
when you're visiting a different country, you're living in a different country,
Yeah.
you need to respect and abide by the laws of that land.
Yeah.
That's something that I live by, and it's very
Exactly.
important. And I know you're the same exact way.
Yeah.
So it's so nice to see that. When I was in China, for example, I tried scorpion on a stick,
Yeah.
right, in the hutongs in the alleys, and it was really really cool. And I can share with you in the audience
Yeah.
here. I think, look, I love trying different cuisines from any country I visit. Probably the worst thing I've ever had was in Sydney, Australia, and I love Australia, by the way. It was at a Michelin star restaurant. It was kangaroo tartare.
Oh my God.
It was really unappealing, I have to say, and I wish I hadn't.
You didn't
but
like
it's
it?
okay. I didn't like it, but otherwise, I love everything there. It was
All right.
delicious. But I'm an adventurous eater too, and for me, I love everything. So it was really big for me not to like that.
Yeah.
But it's so cool to see that you've broken bread with a lot of different world leaders and stuff like that. Have you ever been called in for peace negotiations?
Oh,
Behind the
not
scenes?
really. No, not really.
Okay.
But it's actually peace language,
Yeah, it definitely is.
Any, like when I went to Balochistan or Afghanistan, I remember many people were shocked that how brave you are to come to Balochistan or to Afghanistan. But to be honest, I love people, I love culture, I love what I'm doing, like showing
Incredible.
the food of the city I'm traveling to the world, and that's the main thing I'm doing, and I'm loving it.
I've been to Mauritius.
What is it?
Mauritius, the country. It's in the Mauritius. That's somewhere you have to go for sure. Where else? We'll talk about a few different suggestions and recommendations, because I'm
Okay.
curious to know
Yeah.
where your adventures are going to take you next. Is there, I guess, any kind of recommendation you have for the audience, for anyone who's watching here today?
To where to go?
Anything in general about food, about being adventurous and
Yeah, I mean, I think just take it easy. Just
Yeah.
have what you. I mean, any foods you see because when I travel, I search about their foods and what they love
That's what-
and about their cultures, and then I go to that city and I have a list normally, and even ChatGPT, you can put
AI is fantastic.
questions and they will tell you where to go. So yeah, just try to take it easy and try their dishes when you're traveling to different cities or different countries. So yeah, that's my advice. Just take it easy. Yeah,
So
eat.
it's cool. One of the things that I like to do before traveling to a country, right? I love languages. I speak a few myself. Is I'll normally go and learn a few of the words of the languages of the country I'm visiting, right,
Yeah.
for example. But I feel like for some reason, whenever it comes to food, like you don't even need to do that. You just you point to this.
Exactly,
Everyone
yeah.
speaks that language, so it's so very cool. It's been so fantastic sitting down with you and
Thank you.
finally meet you. This is the beginning of many, many more.
Thank
For our
you.
next interview, which will happen in the coming weeks, months, we're going to do a little bit of a different setup, and I think we're going to venture out and actually try some of the most delicious, cuisines.
Perfect.
It'll be a really fun, interactive experience. I want to thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks
being
for
here.
having me. It was amazing, and so happy to meet you in Dubai.
Thank you.
Thank
Then
you.
I'm having tour. Thank you.
Take care.